Start recording. Welcome to tonight's team call. Thanks for getting on because we have an extra special guest speaker tonight, and I won't give you a whole spiel on her because I don't want to make her nervous. But let's see, just a couple announcements real quick before we get started with Allie. We're halfway through the month, so whatever goals you set for this month, Success Club wise, we had a lot of push for rank goals that people wanted to hit by Summit, which is in 13 days. So if you're going to Summit, get really excited because Kelly and I have been scheming some things. So it should be really fun. But see where you are. What goals did you set for yourself this month? Have you hit Success Club yet? Are you focusing on what you said you were going to focus on a couple weeks ago when we sat down and kind of wrote out our goals for the month and we came up with a game plan for everyone that was on the call? Kind of give yourself a little reevaluation and see what you need to focus on for the rest of the month to reach your goals for July. So basically, I went to high school with Allie and she started coaching, and she'll tell you all her story. But basically we've reconnected. Hi, Bear. We reconnected, and so now it's super fun to just check in with her and bounce ideas. Well, it's mostly me asking her for fun ideas. And then have her on tonight's call so that you guys can hear her story, because I think it's definitely important, and this is why everyone should tune into the National Wake Up Call too, to hear the stories of some other coaches and hear about their success. And not everyone's journey with fitness, with coaching, whatever it may be, is going to be the same, of course. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear Allie's story tonight, and then just kind of some tips that she may have for you guys on how she's been so successful so quickly. So without saying anything else, I'll turn it over to you, Allie.
Okay, I'll unmute myself. Can you guys hear me? Hi guys, I'm Allie. Obviously, thank you, Kelsey, for letting me hop on, for letting me speak on this guest call. I have no idea why you let me, but I hope it's going to be valuable and that you guys take away something from it. Because I think if there's anything we all do in this business, it's just share what works for us, share our failures, and hopefully you guys take away something that's going to help you be more successful. So please excuse my appearance. I just did a live workout, so I jumped from the floor into this chair, and I chugged an Energize. So I've got my heart racing from nerves and also from all of this adrenaline. So, okay, I'm gonna share my screen because I put together a quick little PowerPoint, mostly to keep myself on track so I don't ramble, but to give you guys a visual that's more than just my sweaty self right now. So give me just a second. All right, can you guys see that? It's my Facebook page. All right, can you guys see that? I can't see you anymore, so hopefully you can. All right, I want to talk to you guys tonight very briefly about a couple of things. The first is raising the stakes in your business to be more successful, protecting your momentum at all costs. And for those of you that are diamond or are pushing for diamond, just some strategies that worked for me when I was pushing really hard for diamond. So here we go. All right, here's a little timeline of me. Obviously, it didn't start in May of 2014, but for our purposes, that's kind of where we'll pick up. I don't know the ages of your team, Kelsey, but on mine, and I'll get a little bit into our team, meaning my upline, because I'm part of a much, much larger team than just my own team. We're mostly made up of young moms, people that just got married, a little bit, a few years older than me. I am 24. I graduated from college 2 years ago, which is crazy. So that's really when I'm going to start my story. So I graduated from college in May of 2014, and I was immediately hired by the local government right outside of my college, and I live up in New York. So it was awesome. I got a full-time job. This is what everybody talks about. I was doing all of the right things and felt okay, I'm an adult now. This is what happens. I signed a lease on an apartment. I got a car. All of these things were falling into place, and it was really fun and new and exciting. So Fast forward to January 2015. Now the newness of working full-time has worn off, and I'm just exhausted and tired all the time. And I found out that my job really wasn't for me. I worked in PR for the mayor of a large city. So it was really high stress and long hours and just a lot of things behind the scenes in politics that I'm sure you hear about, and then when you're really confronted with it is just not what you're expecting. So I could get into all of that on a completely different call, but I completely lost myself in work, and I think so many people do that. So I let go of my health, even though I was a generally healthy person all throughout high school and college. I wasn't eating anything of value, and I basically was working all day to go home and watch Netflix and go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. And then the weekends would come and I was too tired to do anything. I didn't have any hobbies. I just lost my entire sense of self and what made me me. So right after the new year in 2015, I decided it's time for a change. Everybody makes changes in the new year. So I signed up for Tone It Up. Some girls that I went to college with had a lot of success with it, and I needed something. And I liked the idea of social media keeping me accountable to my fitness goals. So I started following Tone It Up. I loved it to this day. I only have great things to say about Tone It Up. And if some of you guys are Tone It Up girls, that's awesome. But around that time, I started to gain a following on Instagram. And if you guys want to look at my Instagram, I'll tell you, I'm well beyond fitness. And I started to think like, okay, this maybe could turn into something. I don't know if it's going to be blogging or social media or land me a social media job, but something kind of took hold of me in the health and fitness world and social media. So it was around this time that I actually found my coach, Ashley Smith. And as we all know, I just started stalking her on social media. I checked in with her every day. I would always search her page to see what she was up to. And I was so in awe of her life. She was a relatively new coach, about 8 months in, quit her full-time job and was at home working. She was so happy. And that's what I really identified with, was just her happiness and her freedom and all of this because of coaching. So I started wondering about coaching, but didn't sign up at that time. It took a while, which I've learned it takes a while. You kind of stalk for a really long time on social media. Maybe you guys found Kelsey that way, but it took me a while to get warmed up to the idea. So to backtrack a little bit, I'm miserable at my job. I'm probably the heaviest I've ever been. I do not, have any hobbies or sense of self. And then I found health and fitness, or refound health and fitness. So coaching was kind of always in the back of my mind, but I didn't really understand how any of us do this for a living. But it took a personal tragedy in my life to really shake me to my core and make me realize that life is about so much more than just working, and especially working if you're not happy. So I made it my mission to save as much as I possibly could at my job so that whatever came next, I would be able to just walk away and pursue it. So what came next was coaching. And in January, again, which seems to be my month for decision making, I sent Ashley an email and said, sign me up. I don't know how to do this. I might fall flat on my face, but I have to try it, because if your dreams don't scare you, then they're just not big enough. And this was something that terrified me. So I sent her an email to coach. She sent me back the forms. I bought the 21-day fix and sort of took off running from there. This was this past January, about 6-7 months ago. Like Kelsey said, I have had a little bit of a fast track, and that's really because I've hit the ground running from the beginning. And then in about I'm going to say from February to March, pushed hard, hit emeralds. And then in about a month, which I'll talk about at the end of this presentation, I went diamond. And pretty much in a day, signed up 5 coaches that day. So sorry for these notifications. So then when I hit diamond, here's the big kicker and what I'm going to talk most about today. I decided to walk away from my full-time job. I had not replaced my income yet. I still haven't completely. I didn't have anything else lined up. I had rent and bills. I live on my own, or I did at the time. And I believed so much in this business and so much of what would be possible if I just raised the stakes a little bit and forced myself to work harder, that I did it. I just went in one day, told my boss, gave her my notice, and decided to leave. So it's a cautionary tale. I'm not telling you guys to go quit your jobs tomorrow, but it speaks to a larger point about raising the stakes on this business, because it's a very low risk to start as a Beachbody coach, and there's a very high reward, but it's an abstract reward to start. So raising the stakes. I listened to a call, and maybe some of you have seen it too. It was in the Revive training, and Lindsay Matway said something to this effect, and I don't want to quote her, but she said, if you had invested $5,000 to become a Beachbody coach, would you be doing all of the same things that you're doing right now? Would you be working the exact same amount, investing the exact same amount of time and money into it if you had already put $5,000? And it really struck me, and it was a punch in the gut, because I wouldn't be. I would be working so much harder if I had that much to lose from this. So I think sometimes the crux of Beachbody is it's such a low cost to join. It's $140 for a challenge pack that benefits you, and you can have your own business. And then for $16 a month and $100 of shakes that still benefit you as part of your grocery bill, you can own your own business. And when you compare it to some of these other network marketing companies like Chloe and Isabel or Rodan and Fields or LuLaRoe, from what I know about those companies, you have to invest a lot of money, and you actually have to take on the inventory to own those independent businesses. Beachbody takes away all of that. They give you and take care of all of your inventory. They have customer service lined up for you. They give you an outline of how to be successful with your 4 vital behaviors. They basically do all of the hard grunt work, and all you have to do is just share about the exciting parts of it. So as appealing as it is to start, I think that low risk is sometimes what causes people to give up on coaching, give up on themselves, and really quit before they've dedicated enough time for it to be worth it. So let's say none of that was true. Let's say you had invested $5,000 already. You had a lot to lose. Then what would you be doing for your business every single day consistently to make back that money and to be profitable? So raising the stakes is something I did as soon as I quit my job. The day I walked out of that mayor's office, the stakes were high. It was sink or swim and make this work, or you're going to have to go back to work. And that grand announcement you just made on social media that you quit your job is going to mean nothing when you have to return to work in a few months. So just to backtrack, so I want to give a little disclaimer. I didn't quit. I mean, I was saving, and I consulted with a family member of mine that I really value his opinion and trust. And he told me, as soon as you have 6 months of savings where you can operate, even if you don't see a dime, once you have 6 months to live off of in the bank, in your savings account, that's when you quit your job. So that's what I did. So there was some planning involved. It wasn't just one day I was fed up and I quit. But the stakes were high. So I think that's really what has fueled me to have such a fast-paced, like an accelerated rise. But it doesn't have to be quit your job tomorrow to raise the stakes. You can raise the stakes by investing more time in your business, investing money in things like educating yourself on social media, taking a business class or taking a training, buying more of the products. Yes, you only have to buy one challenge pack, but you should have multiple programs so that you are well-versed in them and you're an expert in this field. So investing things that you have to sacrifice sometimes. This is a thing we talk a lot about on my team, is you might have to sacrifice right now. And for those of you with young kids, you might feel pulled in a bunch of directions. Like, I want to be with my kids 24/7, but I also want to raise this, accelerate this business so that one day I don't have to go to a job. I can work at home for them. So something's got to give. And so when you can raise the stakes on yourself and find the way that it's going to push you to work harder, it's like life or death. You have to get up every day consistently and do it. That's what's going to propel your business and move your business forward. So think about some of the ways that you can raise the stakes, and maybe it's quit your job, maybe it's invest some more money. I always go back to the default of, in any business, like, you have to invest if you're going to get anything out of it. And you did invest in the challenge pack and you are on Shakeology every month, but how could you invest more in yourself, in your own fitness journey and fitness transformation? What are some of the ways that you can raise the stakes, that you can invest that's going to help you see success quicker and in the long run pay off more. The other thing I'm really passionate about right now is a training that I watched just a couple days ago by a guy named Josh Coates. If you've never heard of him, look him up. He has an incredible YouTube channel, and his Instagram is there, Legacy Leadership Tulsa. He has an incredible success story. He's affiliated with Beachbody in that he trains a lot of the top coaches, but he is not a Beachbody coach. So he offers a unique perspective. But the video I saw, and it might be public on YouTube, if not, I can share the link with Kelsey, was about protecting your momentum at all costs. It was something that completely spoke to me, and in the past 5 days, I feel like I've been more productive than I have been all month just from this video alone. So here's the analogy he gives in the video, and I will not be as eloquent as him, but I will try. He gives the analogy of a car. So you're pushing a car, right? You dig your hands, your feet, your legs into the car, and you're pushing with all of your might. You're pushing uphill maybe, and nothing is happening. The car's not moving, but you're giving it your all. And you do this day in and day out, and you see no movement. Then all of a sudden, things start to pick up. You see a tiny little bit of those wheels moving. You gather a little bit of momentum, and now the car is driving, like it's operating. So what do? Most of us take our hands off of the wheel or the back of the car and say, oh, that's cool. The car's moving now. And as soon as we take our hands off, as soon as we stop pushing with the momentum that we've been building, we start to move backwards. And it's such a powerful analogy because we work so hard when it's difficult, and then as soon as it starts to let up and gets a little bit easier, we think our work is done and we can just enjoy and relax and sit back. So on his call, he is so adamant about saying we can never relax. Yes, one day, hopefully, we're all star diamond coaches that work full time in this business and can have so much time off and vacation time, but that doesn't mean that you ever get to stop pushing that car. Because as soon as you do, the car goes backwards and you have to start all over again, digging your hands in, digging your feet in, and basically starting back from nothing, from zero. So protect your momentum. And then the second clause of this that was so important for me to hear personally was at all costs. Immediately that strikes in me, okay, monetary value. I don't have, a ton of money to just throw around, but at all costs. So to me, that means if I've got great momentum and I'm talking to a girl and she's kind of interested, but she's not sure, I'm going to send her free Shakeology samples. Yes, I sell samples on the side to make back the money, but I'm going to give them to her for free because I'm protecting my momentum. Momentum is building. If I send her those free samples and she in turn buys HD or buys a challenge pack, that was worth it. Next, I'm going to share meal plans and recipes with the challenge groups I work with. One of the best pieces of advice my coach gave me was make your challenge group so good that they have to sign up to coach, that they have to continue for a second month, that they can't imagine their life now without that in it. And then they'll tell their friends, and then your network will grow and your momentum will increase. So make meal plans for them, send recipes, do things all the time. Free groups are awesome. Lately, and that's why I have this picture up there, I've been doing live workouts. I've been seeing such amazing momentum from live workouts. I post a graphic like the one you see. I tell everybody on Instagram and Facebook, join me at this time tonight. I'm going live, and this is what you can expect. And people tune in. People that I wouldn't have reached or thought to message or thought to invite will watch, and then it gives you an instant list of people to reach out to and say, thanks for watching my live video tonight. What did you think? Is that something you see yourself doing? Is that a workout that you could get behind? It instantly starts the conversation. So I'm taking the momentum I'm experiencing with live workouts and building on it. I'm doing them twice a week and thinking about doing them to talk about things like coaching and momentum and what drives me. So whatever you find is working for you, is building momentum, do more of that at all costs. If that means having to give away some of your Shakeology sample or your Energize supply, if that means not being able to go out one weekend or do something that you really want to because you need to stay home and work on your business, or you need to hop on a call or continue a conversation. Cost can mean time too. So What can you do to build on your momentum and protect it fiercely, which goes back to the sacrifices that we were just talking about before. So those are just a couple of ways to do that. And then lastly, I will kind of end in story mode again about my experience pushing for diamond. I went diamond in about a month. I had set a goal to be diamond by a specific date so that I could qualify for summit and hold for 6 weeks, and also qualified for a leadership retreat that my coach was hosting at her house. So I had a goal. I took a sheet of paper and I wrote down everything that it was going to take for me to reach diamond. I wish I still had that paper, but here were some of the things that I learned when I went diamond, essentially in a month, but I'm also going to say in a day, because I went into the day with 2 emeralds and like one coach and one other really shaky coach, and filled it up. And by like 6 p.m. the day I went diamond, it was like surreal to me. So one of the things I think some people shy away from is signing their family members up to coach and having control over their family members' accounts and making them emeralds. It can feel like a pride thing. I got caught up in that a little bit, like, well, but I want to do it and I want it to be authentic, and I really want everyone to be a business builder. But then you realize not everyone's going to be a business builder, especially early on in your coaching career. So if you've got to get your aunt and your grandma and your brother-in-law and whoever to do this for you, or your best friend, don't be afraid to ask. If you were going to start any other business, you would ask for investors. It's the same thing. So don't have any shame in having control over both of your emerald accounts. And it actually has served me well. So I do have control. One is my boyfriend, one is my aunt. And then their 2 coaches underneath them are people that I brought on. So it's awesome because I can call for coach relations for them all the time. I'm constantly, checking on them and looking at them. And I feel like on Wednesday nights, I'm not scrambling like, oh my gosh, my emerald isn't working the business right now. So having control over both of your emeralds, if you can, is something that's really helped me a lot. The second bullet point is probably the most important, and this is what really changed the game for me that last day. Sign up all of your new challengers as discount coaches. Here's what I do. If somebody is about to purchase a challenge pack, right before they are, I send them an audio message and I say, the last thing, and just tell me if you're okay with this, and I want to explain to you why I sign up my challengers this way. I sign up everybody new that I work with as a discount coach, and here's why. Nothing changes for them in the first month that they sign up. It's the exact same price, and there are no extra fees for that first month. All that it does is makes the paperwork a lot easier in the second month if you're going to continue Shakeology and if you're going to decide to coach. I'm not going to have to reach back out to you and say, I need you to fill out this form so you can get your money back and you'll get a refund, but first you have to pay the $40 sign-up fee. Totally eliminates that. It's a one step less to just continuing like a seamless transition in their second month. But I also make them aware you can cancel, and I'm going to remind you a week before, you can cancel and you don't have to coach. It's no penalty. But if you do, it's going to make it a little bit easier. And I also just remind them you do have to enter your social security number because people get weary about that. And it's only because you would be an independent Beachbody coach, you'd be an owner of your own business, but it has absolutely no tax implications unless you make more than $600 this year. So I would say 9 times out of 10 people are like, yeah, sure, no problem, sign me up. And then I go through Coach Mobile Office, I pick out their challenge pack, their Shakeology flavor, and I sign them up. It helped me get 5 coaches in a day. They were all discount coaches. They were all new challengers, but I at least knew for that month they were going to be coaches. And then in that month span, I worked my butt off to get more discount coaches so that when their challenge pack is up, I'm not scrambling like, oh crap, everybody just dropped off on me because they didn't want to continue. Now what do I do? So it's like a constant flow, revolving door of more discount coaches, and then occasionally people drop off. But usually, if you give enough value to Shakeology and to the programs, and they have great results from your challenge group, they're going to stay for that second month. And they don't have to do anything. Shakeology will just ship out to them for a discount, and they'll get charged their business fees. So that was what helped me the most, and I stress that the most. Sign your new challengers as discount coaches, and just explain to them it's easier on them. The other thing I did that day, I went back into my back office. I wrote down on a piece of paper every single person that had ever signed up for a free membership with me, bought a sampler pack of Shakeology, anything. and I reached back out to them that day. And a couple people, it was the right message at the right time, which brings me to the next point. Do not shy away from following up with people. And I know Kelsey, I'm sure, tells you that all the time, but the sale often happens in between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. So if you're that annoying girl that has to reach out to them 10 times, so be it. There are a lot worse things in life than being annoying, especially because people need that push sometimes, especially when it comes to their health. So the last point I really want to make is that you never really know where somebody's at in that moment. I get caught in, oh, she's not going to want to hear from me. I just reached out a couple weeks ago. I'm scared. I'm nervous. But so many times on days when I've reached out to somebody, they've messaged me back and said, I had a horrible day of eating. You have no idea how much I needed that message today. Thank you. I'm ready. Sign me up. You just never know where people are at in their life, what they're going through, and so it doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they'll say is no or ignore you, which we all know happens from time to time. So of all of that, I hope some of that gives you something to cling on to if you're pushing for diamond and pushing really hard. And then the last thing is just belief in yourself, personal development, and keeping the faith and knowing that if you want it to happen, it will happen for you. Just takes a little time, some sacrifice, and just investing in yourself, if anything else. If that's anything you took from tonight, is just invest in yourself, in your business, and protect that momentum really, really fiercely. So I think that's my last slide. I will happily take questions now, and these pictures are to show you that I'm not a total scary person. I don't bite. And please ask questions so I don't sit here and we all have that like awkward silence with questions. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. All right, that's it.
Awesome. That was perfect. Thank you so much for getting on and sharing that with us. Do you guys have any questions that you can think of right now? Anybody?
I can ask one.
All right.
So let's say that you have somebody that you keep bothering to follow up with. What do you keep saying to them? Because I have a few people that like, oh, I really want to do the 21-day fix. And this was in February, and I followed up like 3 months in a row, and then I got to the point where I was like, I guess I just better stop. Like, she doesn't want to do it anymore. Because she was like responding at first and then just completely stopped. But now it's on sale again, so I want to ask her, but I don't know how to like get it rolling again.
So that's an awesome question. And everybody I think has those people that you're like, oh, I'm so sure that she's going to do this. And then they fall off the face of the earth, right? I just call myself out. If I feel like I'm being annoying, I'll message them and say, listen, I know I'm probably so annoying to you right now, but I'm going to reach out to you again about this challenge pack because it's on sale. So many of my girls are seeing success from it, and I really feel like this could be the thing that you're looking for, and just give it as much value as possible. But I call myself out. I'm like, I know I'm annoying. I know I've reached out to you 20 times, but I also know people get busy, life gets busy, and it's really easy to ignore this kind of stuff. So sorry for annoying you, but I just want to put this right here. I'm going to leave it for you to look at, and just let me know if this is the right moment for you.
All right, now Morgan's going to go message that girl right now.
I am.
Audio messages. I don't know how much of you guys use audio messages. I live and die by them. I was so nervous to send them when I first started out. I was like, this is so weird. But people can hear your voice. They can hear the passion in your voice. It makes it personal. It's not like this weird exchange over the internet of like goods. It's a real thing that you're offering them, and you're a real person and a real coach. So send audio messages, and people find them unbelievably cool. And they will listen to it. Like if you've been messaging this girl just with text and then you send this little line of audio, she's gonna be like, what is that? I need to listen to that to see what she said. And she's gonna listen to what you have to say. She can't ignore it.
Morgan's like, okay, Allie, can you just say all that one more time?
I'll just audio message her. I talk really fast.
I record.
Yeah, let me just start recording. That's a good question, because I think you're not alone if you ever feel awkward and like, oh my gosh, should I reach out to this person again? Because, I mean, I think we all do that on a regular basis.
Come here.
This business is all about feeling self-conscious, awkward, annoying, like the biggest dork. But at some point, you just have to stop caring. I don't think you ever get to an age where you're like, I don't care what people think. Of course we do. But I care more about my success than what other people think of me.
Mm-hmm.
There's an awesome, I want to share it with you too. I'm like writing down all these things to share with you. Did you guys see the quick video Stephanie Davies posted about like what people try to do when you're successful?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's life changing. She gets on Facebook Live, and I'll shut up after this and let you finish your team call, but she got on Facebook Live because basically one of her challengers had a hater, and somebody was hating on all this Beachbody stuff, which I'm sure has happened to all of you. And she got on and she just said, you know what? Why does anybody care what we're doing to be successful? It's nobody's business except your own, what you're doing. And all you have to do in this world is be supportive of what other people are doing. And she just had this really powerful message about when you do something that sets you apart, you step out of the box, you do something different, you post on social media, you post selfies. Nobody, I get teased for selfies all the time. People are going to want to bring you down because you're not normal. It's not the norm, and everybody craves and gets stuck in this little box of normal. So if you are doing something different, they don't know what to do with that. They have to attack that. And so if you can just ignore the haters and get past that and be okay with being different, you're going to be more successful. And those people can make all the comments they want. They're probably not going to be, their own boss one day. So that's the default.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And you guys, whatever you feel like you're going through in your business, if you get on YouTube or you get on Google and type in, like, if you have people criticizing you or whatever, if you type Beachbody haters in on YouTube, I guarantee like 10 different videos will come up, and you can have someone identify with what you're going through and just kind of give you that motivation, like, yeah, like pump you up so that you can kind of get past whatever it is you're going through. Because I promise there's been a day when we've all felt like that, especially as you continue on in the business. You're not the only one who's going through it for the first time. I want to check out that Coates guy. I wrote down his name.
Gosh,
I have a quick question for everybody, and it's kind of something that Lauren and I have been struggling with this week. Our challengers went just anonymous. Not really anonymous. They just shut up and quit participating. And they were all excited, and so we don't really know what to do.
All right. Well, I'll speak first because I think that honestly, we only have 4 minutes left because I don't pay for this yet. But I probably should before next week's meeting. I feel like I do this every time. It's just like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. When I started personal training, I wanted things for people more than they wanted it for themselves. And even in this business, I'll sign a coach and they don't see their potential. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So if you're, like Allie said, if you're sharing the recipes, I've even called people out in my challenge group, not specifically, but just been like, okay, crickets in here. Am I talking to myself, you guys? Like, where'd everyone go? Like, just to kind of break the comic relief, I guess. I don't know. But there really is only so much you can do. So if you're providing people with the tools, if you're letting them know that you guys are there,
There's nothing more we can really do.
Yeah, I wrote him a tough love message. We got one response, which is great. That's the girl that's thinking about signing up to coach. But the other girls have all looked at the post and they're posting on Facebook, and I've messaged them and they will not respond. So whatever, our clean eating group is going to be the bomb.
Do you have anything to comment, Allie?
The other thing you can do that people are so driven by is just like incentivize them. We run like prizes and challenges.
We tried.
Oh, we did.
We have even upped the ante.
That's what I would do. I would just like give away free stuff all the time to try to, but Kelsey's right. If they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. And nothing you do is them. But the other thing you can do is just be a proof of the product. If it's working for you, people message you and be like, oh my gosh, I want to look like you. I want to have the happiness and the freedom that you have and the healthy lifestyle. So just be the best possible example. And there's not much else you can do.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all going to be on the lookout for Lauren's transformation picture tonight.
Yes, it's awesome. It really is.
And then the only other thing that I just thought of was the one girl who did respond or whatever, give her a shout out. Like recognize her in the group or send her a little, I don't know, Shakeology sample or something.
Good idea.
Because that might make people be like, oh, maybe I should jump back in.
Yeah.
I am going to do that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Allie, so much for getting on and spending some time with us and telling us your story. And everyone go look up Allie Mudano on Facebook, or it's Well Beyond Fitness.
Yeah, there's
and Instagram and stuff. So check it out. And this girl's like a social media guru. She's great with sharing, especially about the coaching opportunity. And I'm sure whoever's going to Summit will probably meet up with her at Summit. All right. All right. Thanks for getting on tonight, guys. Have a good night. Bye. Bye, Aaliyah.